No, honestly, no. You know what I used? I did this once, okay, and it was the best thing of my life. I went and I got my ears cleansed by a doctor. Like he got his thing and he grabbed all the junk from my ear. It was the best thing ever.
I can't believe you're not even supposed to use a Q-tip.
I do. I stuff that in there and it's not good.
Me too, but like I can't remember, what are you supposed to use?
It's just a water thing.
Oh.
But
it's like what?
Like what is the water thing gonna do? Let me get in there.
I know. Let me see it on the Q-tip. It feels different, right?
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk about it. The Q-tip feels so good in your ear. It feels so right.
Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna tell me that's wrong for my ear when it feels that good?
And it does its job.
Yeah, it feels.
I mean, from what I see, it does its job.
You were saying before I interrupted you about PLT.
Oh yeah, I got a set, and it's a little bit like too funky on me. Like it doesn't fit right, so I think you'd like it.
And you can't return it.
I mean, I didn't try to return it.
Is it too late?
Honestly, I don't even think so. But I don't have the
energy.
Yeah,
I do that.
Even though FedEx is down my street, ankle block, but it's like.
But get this, sometimes they pick it up from your door too. You know, you can do that.
No,
like we're ultimate lazy for not doing that because you can just return things by like packaging it. They have like pickup.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's like how sometimes
do you pay extra for that?
No, I think it's because like they stop by to deliver anyway. So just like how they stop by to deliver, they stop by to pick up. I could be wrong, but I swear that's the case.
That's genius.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then I might like
start returning shit.
Walk a little bit.
Yeah.
Save a little bit of money.
Like get this, because remember how so my memory is really bad. You know this. I think I might have talked about it on the podcast before. I told you that I ordered 2 console tables. Did I?
Yeah. You told me.
So one of them, they're from different brands completely. So one of them is just unboxed. Like I didn't even care to open both of them and see which I liked more because imagine reboxing that.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't returned it yet. And I really I know that I should, right? But it's so heavy.
Does it fit in your car? Like have you like take dimensions?
No, like I've made zero effort to think about it.
That one should get picked up.
Yeah, but like do they pick up everything?
I hope.
Like would he come pick up a fat ass table or is it just like a little
surprise?
My elevator's broken too.
No.
Yeah. See, that's why it's like there's like momentarily like I can't, right? So I don't know, bro, but like it's just knowing my illness of not returning things.
That one, yeah.
Like I know a month later I'm gonna be like Facebook Marketplace selling console table, like just because that one I definitely have to. That's not like a purchase.
Yeah,
like,
it's big too. It probably takes up space.
Yeah, it does. It's just chilling in my fucking kitchen like an island.
I'm dead. The island that you always wanted. Did you ever get one?
No,
because it's tough.
It's you get it.
I get it.
But I think I had one. Like I came to the conclusion of one, but you know how hard it is to just pull that trigger. Yeah. When there's so many options out there.
That's the thing. We just gotta pull it.
Yeah.
Like me with my stools. I literally waited a year, and they're the most basic stools ever. And it was a one click away on Amazon.
Yeah.
I think I was scarred.
You're scarred?
Couch. That I still have.
Oh my god, this couch. You can't get rid of it now. I love this couch.
I think she's just here to stay now.
I love her. And she's cute. Like, you give her a hard time for no reason.
Nah, she's like a toy. It's not even a couch. Like, it's embarrassing, you know?
No, it's not.
It's so embarrassing. Yeah, it is. Bro, my feet dangle off of it. I'm not even tall. I'm short.
No, they don't. You're capping.
You want to see?
There's no way when you sit on that edge, your feet dangle off of it. Let me show you. Okay. Wow, I really don't believe you. All the way back. Don't play around here. Like don't do like a tippy toe to get your height longer. Barely. Yeah, a little bit though. Wait, that's so. Lay the other way.
It doesn't.
I'm just curious. Like anyone who's like 6 foot, could they lay the long way? Probably, right? Yeah, okay. Like, she's cute. But that was funny, actually.
It's livable, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's not the end of the world, but it's not like, I could finally, after
a home,
day, come back to my couch, because I can't.
It's it's like decor.
It's literally decor, yeah. Like, nah, it's not for relaxation. Like, it's just there. It's there because it has to be there.
Yeah, my couch is not uncomfortable, but it's not like also like made for comfort entirely. It's more like, wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the perfect couch because first of all, it's really nice and big and spacious, and like I like the texture. And then like you can't even notice that it's a pull-out couch.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
and it pulls out into a bed. You wouldn't notice this was either. I would think it's storage.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it turns into a bed, but it does.
Yeah, but it doesn't even do it because like it like the bottom part like will fly away. It doesn't like stick.
What do you mean?
So it just falls.
Oh no! Wait.
I push the other part down. Cause you see the this part.
Yes. You just flatten it.
Yeah.
Okay, like a what's it called? Like one of those.
Like a bed.
Like a Jeep.
Like a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a Jeep.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about the new year?
Yeah, let's run it. Wait, let me see what episode number it is.
Oh yeah. We didn't even introduce. We didn't even say welcome back to Mommies.
Let me see right now. I believe it's like 37 though. Episode 37, yeah. Juicy. Okay. Welcome back to Muscle Mommies. My name is Olive.
My name is Nona.
And we're happy to have you guys back.
Yes.
For episode 37, we are going to talk about New Year's resolutions, New Year's goals, like New Year you, and our mindsets on how we approach the new year in terms of like health goals, fitness goals, and all of that.
Yes. Okay, so I think the one thing that I want to say is like the New Year's, I think there's a lot of stress on it. Like it's literally just another day. Like
it's a calendar day, literally.
Yeah, it's literally. But you know what? I could see how like people are like a restart or refresh, and that's good. But you don't need to be a completely different person on January 1st, 2023. Like it's okay. Like make January 1st the day that you start tiny habits and you keep them.
Right.
So like by the end of that year, by the end of 2023, you'd be a completely different person instead of like waking up and suddenly like you know it's like a smoking thing. It's like people who like
you can't go cold turkey.
Yeah, cold turkey always return back to like being smokers, but those who like take the gradual baby steps, like the chance of them quitting is greater, you know? So it's kind of the same thing. It's like instill little habits that are towards your goal or towards the identity that you want to be.
Yeah. And that's a really good point, dude, because I swear, like, and I'm like this, so like I can totally relate to this. Like, if I overwhelm myself with too many tasks at once, especially like imagine it's like these are New Year's tasks. Like, let's say, for example, I've never done this specifically, but like if you go into the New Year's with like 15 new habits that you have never even previously vaguely identified with, like they're brand new to you, it is going to be so difficult to attempt to transition that quickly, that cold turkey, right? So like, and when it becomes extremely challenging, it's going to be extremely unmotivating to continue. So it's like, it's going to be so difficult to keep all 15 tasks from January 1st to January 30th that like, per se, like of the 15, when you don't comfortably and consistently complete all 15, and let's say you only get 5, you only get 6, you are going to feel like you failed when in theory that's 5 whole new habits that you've upholding. But since you gave yourself such a big goal of 15, like this brand new lifestyle that you weren't even like close to identifying with, you're going to feel like you failed. But if you start off your New Year's with like what my like New Year's habits have always sort of been like, or resolutions have been like, I will give myself literally like 1 or 2 like new things that I can sort of introduce into my life like easily. It's like relatively similar to what I do. Like for me currently for the new year, I want to take cold showers more, because I used to do that a little bit every now and then. I'm just like, I love cold out showers, so I'm going to do it, but I never consistently, right? But I do have a morning routine, so it's going to be easy for me to probably implement that if I decided to do it, which I will. But that's the only thing I have going into it, right? And then I like to do something along those lines, like 1 or 2 new things that are going to benefit me. And then once those things are solidified in who I am and how it's so easy for me to do it, it's like now I'm like, it's January's over, it's February, and that habit is me. I can easily introduce another new habit. And by the end of the year, I'm 10 habits in. You get what I'm saying? Instead of starting off the year trying to be 10 habits in January 1st. It's like one by one, those little things from the first solidify them, and then introduce another small one. Otherwise, I feel like it's not impossible, but it's challenging.
Exactly. It's like little stepping stones.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yes. And then like the thing that I was thinking about too, it's like, let's say that you want to like lose weight, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and like achieve a healthier lifestyle. Like throughout the day and the tasks that you do, in your head be like, what would a healthy person do? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm reading the book, right?
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. So that's like one of the like examples that they said. It's like, you know what? Like just the identity that you want to become, like throughout your day when you want to do things, to just be like, what would blah 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 would do?
Yeah, you know this is a manifestation technique.
Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, this is a manifestation technique.
No way.
But like, what is manifestation? It's just being the person that you want to be.
Exactly. Mindset.
Building those habits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, keep going. This is interesting because I also want to read the book. So like, I love the little insight on it.
So no, that's like literally what it says. It's like, okay, so like the identity that you want to become, like do the habits that identity would do to become that identity. You know? And then like it's vice versa. Like that identity has those habits.
Right.
You know?
100%.
So it's like you can't have one without the other. And I think it's just like, you know what, that idea, that the example that they put, I actually used to use it when I was in school, you know, but I used it in a different way. I used to hate math.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in STEM classes, like that's all that you do, math. So I would be like, oh my god, like math is so fun, even though I hated it.
Yeah,
I think mine's like glitching.
Can you check that it's plugged in tight at the bottom? And I'm gonna check right here.
Mm-hmm. I think it's okay.
Yeah, and then just give it a good grip there.
Yeah.
At the connectivity right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I used to be like, oh my god, I love math, even though I hated it. And then eventually I tricked myself to like kind of started liking it,
it's
and
like
I did really and I did really well on the exams because of like that mentality thing. So like I think like just realize how powerful your mind is, and just, you know what, play with it. It's easy to trick your mind, you know? Your mind's powerful, but it's like easy to like manipulate your own mind. Yeah,
especially when you like, dude, like reading is like, honestly, like if you don't read, like for your New Year's resolution, I would say like try to read one book January, like make that your New Year's resolution, and pick up like a book, like for example like Atomic Habits. Like I feel like one good book could change your life.
100%.
And you read that and you recognize the power of the mind, and you recognize how easy like the mind is like manipulated.
Yeah.
Because like even like I feel like sometimes it's easier for us to recognize it in a negative way than a positive way. Like think of how easy it is for you to think I don't look good, right? Like, or like if you have a history with like people maybe like bullying you when you were younger, how easy it is for your mind to believe those things, right? And to believe that you are those negative things that it absorbed for such a long period of time, right? And I feel like all of us are familiar with that to some degree, right? Like whether it's us to ourselves being not confident and constantly like, I don't know, like hiding the way that we look, hiding the way that we feel, suppressing a lot of things about ourselves, our mind starts to believe I'm less than, and we feel less than. Think about the reverse. Imagine if every day you fed your mind, I am beautiful, the same way like you told yourself that you weren't, or other people told you that you weren't. Or if every day you told myself, I love math. This is so fun to do. I'm grateful that I get to do this, right? Like it's such a like, you know what? I always tell people this. When I first started doing things like this for myself, I felt weird. Did you feel weird?
Yeah, I was like clown. Like I felt like a clown.
Yes,
yeah.
I was like, I felt like cringy, like saying these things to myself, or writing these things to myself, or even like forcing those thoughts in my head. Like it felt, and I want to say that just because I feel like that's a little bit relatable for someone who's never like fully dove into like things like this. I feel like it feels awkward in the beginning. You feel like, what am I doing? Like, am I really telling myself I am beautiful, or writing that? But it's like, dude, it works. It works. That faking until you make it, that whole like literally just envision who you want to be, and then start living like you're already them. Stop acting like you're not. Because if you want to be that person and you're capable of being that person, show yourself why you are.
Yes.
Wake up and I am that person. I am that person that meal preps. I am that person that like studies 6 hours a day and loves it, and then goes spend time with my family. Like just adopt that for a little bit, and all of a sudden your mind is like, I am that person, and that's it. Like you are just conquering things in that valley so easily because it's your identity now. Mm-hmm. Like all of the thoughts that you think and you write and you practice, all of those things become you quickly. Your mind is like works like overtime.
Literally.
Once you do those things like repetitively.
Yeah. No, all the way. Yeah. All the way.
How deep are you in this book? Like, did you just start reading it?
Yeah,
or okay, because I'm just so curious about other things about it. Like, I didn't know that it talked about that, which is like something that I not recently, but like recently read more about, right? Yeah. So like I don't know, like it made me interested in the book.
You have to read it. You have to read it.
Yeah.
What else I wanted to say? Oh, okay. So also I feel like we talk about self-love a lot, but if you're listening to this and you haven't been able to, you know, provide that love to yourself, I think 2023 should definitely be that year that you start practicing self-love. Because like when you have self-love for yourself, it's easier to do things in a way that serve you in some sense, and like it's easier to surround yourself with the right people and create the life that you know want and you deserve. So I feel like a lot of people like neglect self-love and like they chase other things
for that same satisfaction,
and they get distracted and then they lose themselves and then they get older and they're confused and lost. So I think it's really important. Like I think we have a very young audience, and I would preach self-love. I'd be like, you know what, like I think self-love is a very, very, very like lonely journey too. Like it's hard. Like
yeah,
I think real. Like we all started our self-love journey like around the same time too. Like we went through dark periods. So yeah. I think it's like a very like dark and harsh period because you learn so much about yourself and you get so uncomfortable with your own thoughts and like your own identity. And I think that's just a period of time that everyone should go through, and especially when you're young, you know?
Yeah.
When I read that comment, they're like, you need to get better mics. I was like, we do need to get better mics. I won't even be mad at it.
I love on my main YouTube channel. I was like, I second this. Your sage is almost done. That makes me laugh. I can imagine you at nighttime when something goes wrong. That's funny as hell. I love that. Dude, I was gonna ask you one more thing about the sage before I forget and we move back onto the self-love. Listen, like tell me you agreed with this. I feel like your soulmate is gonna have the same scent love as you. Like, cause you know how some people just don't fuck with certain scents? Like, let me tell you something. I love cocoa butter. Do you like cocoa butter?
Yeah.
I love coconut, like, and
sweet.
Those natural scents, like, because those are the lotions that I use, and because those are usually the fragrance-free ones. But I even naturally love the smell of cocoa butter. But there's some people that, like, if I put the cocoa butter on around them, like girlfriends, like, they'll be like, oh, I can't stand that smell. But I can't imagine living a life with, like, my husband who doesn't like cocoa butter. Like, I just feel like our nostrils would be compatible if we're soulmates, right? Like, I 100% think that. Like, I know it's such a stupid thing to say, but like, I feel like someone you're compatible with, like, let's say, like, you know how people have different perfume tastes? But it's like, I can smell perfume off a girl sometimes and be like, oh, I can't. Like, my nose hates that. It's not that, like, ew. It's more of like, I don't want to be around that scent. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's like, imagine spraying that and your husband thinks that. Like, I feel like your husband would be like, oh my God, that's so bomb, right? Like, you would have the same, like, nose and taste buds. I feel like food is big, too.
Yes.
I feel like your soulmate.
And then, go. You know what's crazy? I heard that, like, you know your soulmates if you like the smell of their body odor.
They're like musk.
Yeah.
People say that. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, I could like sort of see that.
Yeah. What if like you hate that person's body odor?
Yeah, I would just be like, yeah, you like that's like the world saying like don't come near me. No. Like how do you live like that?
It's like their pheromones or whatever.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You were gonna say something
prior to this, right? Or
I don't know. Self-love.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Wait, I gotta rack my brain. Give me like literally 10 seconds. It's on the tip of my brain.
How do you practice self-love?
Oh, like, okay, your number one tip for self-love. Now, just take that question as you would. Like, I don't mean it could be this as well, though. Like, what do you think was the number one thing that helped you with self-love? Or what do you think was your number one struggle with self-love that you overcame? Like, just on the topic of self-love, like, your main like consensus, I guess, or like just the main thing for you for self-love, whether it was a tip, whether it was like the biggest realization you had with self-love, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you have anything like that?
Oh my God, this is hard. My brain's like everywhere. I think my biggest thing was to trust my intuition. That was self-love for me. Because I used to be like, whatever, like I used to not listen to it and my life went to shit. And then like the second that I started listening to my intuition, it's like, doo-doo-doo.
Yeah, I feel like our bodies and minds like respond a certain way or feel a certain way like intuitively for a reason.
Yeah. How are you?
I want to talk about that battery story with the intuition. Do you remember the battery with this?
What?
So you'll remember while I'm telling this story. So me and Nona always talk about things like this with each other, like following our intuition, like yeah. Like, so one day when I'm coming to record the podcast, okay, I literally like for no reason at all, I swear, like I'm getting ready as I'm gonna come, and my mind randomly goes, just check for batteries and just bring him with you. And I almost like denied that thought for a second, and then I noticed I didn't have batteries, so then I didn't even give it a further thought. Like I listened for a moment to what my intuition said, but then I was like, okay, I don't have batteries, whatever. So then I was like, you know what? Like I'll just text Nona. I texted Nona. I was like, do you have batteries? And she's like, no, but I can go to the store. And then I was like, another mission. Like I was like, all right, it's not worth it, whatever. So then I went. I was like, but I had to fill gas. So that I packed all the equipment, went to the gas station to fill gas. I'm sitting there in my car as my gas is pumping. I'm like, just go in there and buy batteries. Like, you know, like, like, for no reason, like, my mind and body kept telling me, like, batteries. Like, even though, like, I gave up on it first, my mind was like, just text Nona to see if she has batteries. I was like, I have nothing else to do. Like, I'm just getting ready. So I texted Nona. I'm in the gas station, and my body's like, just go, like, I was like, fuck it. Like, I don't have batteries at home. I should, right? Like, this is a little pit stop. I grab the batteries. I kid you not. We sit down, press record. 30 seconds in, it just dies.
Crazy.
Like, literally, 30 seconds, it just dies. And this doesn't have, like, a battery percentage written on it. Like, it has bars, but it's like, we don't never really pay attention to it. That's how it just died right now. Yeah. Like, we were so unaware. But when I started, it didn't even show that it was, like, empty. Like, it's, like, a really bad system.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, like, warn us. It just dies.
Yeah.
But
that's insane.
Yeah, literally. Like,
that's, like, future you coming and telling you, like, you need batteries.
Like, your intuition is, like, just grab the batteries. Like, just in case, you know?
And put you in situations where it's, like, possible. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes when stuff like that happens, I'm like, whoa.
Life is like crazy.
Yeah, like, whoa.
Yeah, like, whoa. How do I make sense of that?
Yeah.
It's like really cool though, I think
it's cool.
Yeah.
What's your way of practicing self-love?
So the number one thing for me, dude, has been to accept like my flaws but not hate myself for them.
I love that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like especially for me, when I would get caught up, like, not caught up, I still am invested in it, but when I would get like started, at least my self-love journey and this idea of like figuring out who I am, what I love, like what makes me upset, what doesn't make me upset, like what's compatible with me, like these are all things with self-love, right? When I would figure out things about myself that I wanted to improve, that I wasn't happy about, I would like honestly hate myself for them sometimes. Like, I hated the fact that I possessed those qualities. I hated the fact that I did things that I didn't want to do. Let's say, I don't know how to explain it really. Like, I want to give an example that I feel like is really relatable to a lot of people. Like, let's say you get angry quickly, right? Like, sometimes I get sad quickly. I don't get angry quickly, but I get sad quickly, and that could affect my emotions the same exact way. Like, I can, like, well, I feel like I've learned to, like, control it a little bit, but, like, it'll make me, like, emotional, and it'll make me act out of emotion, just like anger would. And when I would reflect and try to, like, see why those things happen and how I can change them, I would be like, I hate that I'm like this. Like, I hate the fact that, like, for example, let's say, like, if anger is relatable to you, like after you get mad at someone and then you reflect, you're like, why did I yell at them? I hate myself for it. But it's important not to do that, I think, in your self-love journey. It's important to recognize that every single person has flaws, like, and you recognizing that and you wanting to be better, you even sitting down and being like, damn, why did I do that, is so positive. You know, like, you can't be mad at yourself for possessing those qualities, because, like, you know what's crazy? Like, a lot of our behaviors and the reason we are the things that we are, whether they're positive or negative, are so environmental. Like, things out of our control. It could have been, like, things we experienced, like, in our childhood. Like, it could be so many things that it's like the only control you have over those stuff for you now is today. Like, you can't be upset about things that molded you to have bad behaviors, things that molded you to have bad outlooks on life. Like, you can't be upset about those things because you don't deserve to get mad at yourself for those. You didn't have any control over those. You didn't have any control over things that cemented that into your mind, those gave you those behaviors, but you have control now. And you're choosing to control it, and you're choosing to work on yourself and learn who you are and understand why things trigger you or why things make you sad, you know, like. And I think there's a beauty to that, rather than being like, I hate that about myself, because I used to do that, but I don't at all anymore. Like, if I see a bad habit in myself now, like, I'm just like, okay, let's dissect. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I just think it's important in your self-love journey to not be so harsh on yourself.
And you know what? I think like self-love journey is also self-analyzing yourself journey.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you are self-analyzing yourself, because that is self-love, seeing who, what, how.
Like, if I love you, right? How do I start loving you? I get to know everything about
Observing what you like.
I obsess over you. Like, what do you love? What do you hate? I want to never do what you hate. I want to do everything you love. Where do you want to go so I could take you this weekend? That all is mirrored in self-love. It's like, what do I hate? What do I love? What triggers me? What doesn't trigger me? It's so easy for us to give that to other people, but self-love is weird, right?
Yeah. Crazy.
When it shouldn't be.
And you know what? It's like, you have to practice self-love, because eventually, like, you will end up with being with someone, and it's like, you want to end up with the right person, you know? Because if you love yourself, you don't need their validation.
You could choose the right person.
And you will walk away if they treat you any less than what you know, like, you gotta, like, that person has to love you more than you love you.
Yeah, and,
you know,
and treat you right.
Yeah,
that's
right.
it.
Yeah, because like, when you don't have self-love, you find it in others, and then you could get into a relationship where it's toxic and manipulative, and then you can't leave because like, you feel like they're giving you that love, but it's not love, because you don't know what love is, because you haven't given it to yourself.
Yes. Yeah. There's an awareness that comes with self-love that like tells you exactly what's good for you and what you like. But when you don't have those things, you just mold to the person in front of you. And if the person in front of you is evil, is mean, like maybe unintentionally, but that's just who they are, you are going to be that. And you're just going to accept that, because you don't know any better.
Exactly.
You know, there's no self-love awareness.
Exactly. Does that person also practice self-love? I think that's important too. I think that person has to have their self-love journey as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, is that an attractive feature? Like, is that a feature you look for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be with someone who hasn't, like, doesn't love themselves, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta respect yourself.
How can you tell?
I think you just know.
Yeah.
Like, how they talk. I think like
boundaries.
The more that boundaries
is for me is like when they like know what they want and what they don't want. Besides, like, it's not like they come to you with a list like I'll handle this and I won't handle this. I accept this and I won't accept this. But when someone is just aware of themselves, they exude like self-love. Like when someone is just reflective. I feel like when someone is reflective, I'm like, this person has to be internally reflective as well, and that manifests into self-love, I think. I mean, it could also like take it other forms, but when I see someone is like reflective, I'm like, damn, this person is like does the same things I do, practices the same things I do. It's an attractive quality.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It's very attractive when like the other person has boundaries. And knows exactly, like, the reflective thing, like, that's hot.
Yeah, and they know what they want, you know. Or like, okay, remember we talked about this with Elaine a little bit. I feel like someone who practices self-love like in a partner looks like someone who like is selective. Like if they're selective and they chose you, I would assume that they practice self-love and they just know what they're worth and know what they want, and you know, like they choose you or they don't, but like that's how you could tell someone is like into that kind of stuff when they're, you know, like, we're not going to accept everything, we're not going to tolerate everything just because of what we know we deserve or what we know we want.
Agreed. 100%. I think like honestly, like for me, I think 2021 and 2022 was just a year of growth. I think we did talk about this prior episodes, but I feel like since graduating like university and stuff like that, like my identity was student, you know, like I literally had no other interest, nothing, because my goal was like med school, so like my entire life was school. And I think like after college, like, and then moving out and just like completely isolating myself, like it was just such a rough time, because that's like when self-love journey occurred. That's where like I had to find my own identity and like who I was.
It's hard.
Yeah, and I feel like that's not talked about a lot. Like I feel like a lot of college students go through a depressive episode after college, because your entire life you were a student, but now it's like you are you.
Yeah,
but who am I?
What is that? Yes. Dude, like, you know what's crazy? Okay, especially like college, like you usually like live with your roommates, and then before that you're with your home. Like I know not everyone could live alone, or not everyone could be alone for long periods of time, but like if you could like separate yourself, like, you know, like some people, I wish I did this more when I was younger, like just spend time alone. Like now I recognize the value of isolation, so I will do things by myself that I enjoy, like, but dude, I swear it's like when you have all these variables around you, you have school, you have roommates, you have family, you have friends, and you're never alone, you don't even know how you would act when you're alone. It's like, okay, when I'm with my roommates all day in college, right, and like let's say they do something that makes me happy, or they do something that makes me upset, these are all things that are affecting my emotions. When those things aren't around, what makes you happy? What makes you upset? You will only find that when you're in isolation. Like, where do your thoughts go? You get what I'm saying? When there's no one outside, like, I make you laugh, so then your thoughts are happy and they're funny. But what if I'm not here? Where does your mind go? That's such an important thing to observe. And it hit me like a truck when I went alone after being in college and all these things. It's because I never had that experience. And I'm alone now, and I'm like, okay, well, before, like, let's say me and my sister would like bicker over this, and that would annoy me. It's like, what annoys me now when I'm just by myself? You get what I'm saying? Like, there's so much awareness that comes from just you, because without you even realizing it, like, everyone and everything, school, roommates, people around you are affecting your emotions and your thoughts, because there's variables around you. So then when you go alone, it's like this huge, like, it's hard. It's like a depressive, like, because it's so much new information. It's so many things you never addressed, you never even had to address, and now you're just alone. So it's like coming to you.
Yeah, literally. You're kind of just in shock, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Like betrayed by yourself in some sense, you know? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But again, like, I feel like that was my 21, 22. And I feel like it was just a lot of like self-analyzing, self-isolating, self-loving. It was just like, and that's kind of crazy. Like, why do people go through that after college? Like, literally after college, why couldn't we be introduced to this,
dude,
like when we were young?
I think that's such an important thing,
you
dude.
know,
like, that's why, like,
we're stripped of our identity in some sense
till forever. Like, why do we have to go on a self-discovery path? And this happens for everyone. This is why it's so good to be a good parent. I like, not even that like our parents were bad, it just these things aren't taught. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is so brand new. Like, even mental health is barely like touching school systems, you know? Like, so it's like, I don't know, like, it's so crazy, right? Because it's like, I feel like generations like down the road, like, because these conversations are becoming more common, like, people will tell their kids, like, do this, try to spend some time alone, think about this. And it's like, it's crazy because none of that is even introduced to us early on. And it's like people start to barely decide to discover who they are mid-20s. That's 20 years. That's 20 years. And you hit 20 and all of a sudden you have to be like, wait, who am I? Like, of course you know who you are, but like down to the core, right?
Yeah. That's insane.
It would be a beautiful thing to start seeing like little kids be educated about stuff like this. Like, do you ever love those TikToks that like show gentle parenting and like the mom like or dad will like show like have such a beautiful conversation with their kid, and you can tell the kid is like there's like emotional intelligence brewing in this child. Yes. Like that is so perfect.
Yes. Do you know what? I like that you said that, because I feel like you have to have some sort of emotional intelligence to be aware that you need self-love.
Yes. Oh, yes.
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 Yeah. I feel like I don't know, there's 2 types of intelligence, emotional and what's the other one? Like the book one?
I know what you mean, but I don't know the word for it. Yeah,
but like basically, like I feel like emotional intelligence is just so crucial, because like I feel like we use emotional intelligence like way more than the other type of intelligence. Why isn't that taught in school systems, you know? Why isn't that taught to the youth, you know?
Emotional intelligence like rules the world.
It rules the world.
Like it's used to manipulate people, you know, like in propaganda, like just your emotions in general, like
we're emotional beings.
We rule. Yeah, it literally rules us. Like our emotions guide what we decide to do every day. Like if you're sad, like if you're happy, like your activities change. If you're motivated, your activities change. If you know what I'm saying, like emotional intelligence is really important.
Very. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, for self-love, right? Like, because I can relate to this a little bit. I know you can as well a little bit, because this is a beautiful journey and it's important, and I think everyone takes part in it, right? But just like with everything in life, there's balance. You could get so caught up in this, guilty right here. You become so hyper independent, and it goes from like, I know what I'm worth, to no one is worth my space, because my space is so valuable to me and I know everything. Like, not even I know everything, like I don't even know how to phrase it. Like I can
just, like I'm afraid of it getting tainted or something.
Yeah, like just to be completely open, like that is my huge flaw. Like I have loved my space and I've made it so safe. You know, like I am so good in my space. I'm so safe. Like so loved in my space. Like I wake up, like, you know, get what I'm saying? Like my space is beautiful for me. Like I wake up happy that at mild inconveniences with people, I'm just like, like I will just think, not even like I'm scared and I run away. It's more of like, why bother? Yeah. Like it's so easy to just not want anyone in my space now because of the fact that like, I don't know, just this whole self-love journey just went so deep that like, yeah, it's great, it's all of that, but it's like, at least I'm reflective. Like I just want to be open about this, because I can see myself, like I went so deep that now it's like, it's hard for me to desire someone in my space for a long period of time. It's like I can be interested in people and stuff like that, but like after a while, like I'll be like, they're not giving me like
what I want them to get. Yeah.
And that, like, you know, and like it's crazy because it's like the beauty of getting to know someone, and I say this but I'm not good at it either, but the beauty of like even friendships, like I'm not even talking romantic when I say this, is like you learn how to love each other. So just because they're not loving you perfectly at the beginning and you love yourself way better because you've done this self-love stuff for years, doesn't mean they can't. But for me, I'll be honest, like dude, it's just like if someone just like doesn't move the right way, like even a little bit, I'm just like,
it rubs me the wrong way, I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah, it's like so easy for just me to. Is it bad? I feel so bad.
I got it. No,
tonight.
Like right after this.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Yeah. Like right here.
Yeah, right now.
But it just like
we're also talking about mics. We're getting new mics, guys.
Yeah, I promise.
Yeah,
I promise. Next episode. Oh, it should be because it's Amazon, right? So it'll be here in time. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, like it's so easy for me to like honestly, like sometimes I'm like, am I ever gonna like get in a relationship?
Because you're like one wrong move and you're cut.
Yeah, and I don't even care at that point. Like,
I don't. Like,
I feel like care. Like I keep them around as friends. Like I love you, you're cool. Like unless you do something like really mean, but like usually people like don't come too close to me to do that anymore because like I have like a good awareness. You know,
they're afraid.
I have like a good evil radar now. Like you know what I'm saying? You think self-love does that to you?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I just know when people have like bad intentions.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you in my life.
Yeah. So I usually choose good people, but then it's just like they just don't hit. Like that's so bad. Like they'll hit for a little bit, but then like after a while I'm just like, you're not loving me the right way. It's like peace.
But that's good.
No, there's a hyper independence to it though. Like there's balance. There's for sure balance, and I don't have that balance. I'll be honest. I can't teach you guys this. Like I'll give advice about things that I know, but to this point, like, I am bad.
No,
like,
but I feel like that's. Well, why would you want to be? Why would you want to be friends with someone who rubs you the wrong way? But let's be honest.
But it's like, what rubs? This is what I'm saying. Like, what's the threshold of rubs you the wrong way?
Okay, like,
because mine is so.
Is it just energy? It's like I don't like.
No, it's not like a vibe. Like, and when I say that,
something.
I'm talking more romantic when I say this.
Okay.
Yeah, not even like they do something where I'm disrespected. Like, let me give you an example. This is a real example. Okay, like, what are the odds that like he's gonna see this? I doubt it, right? Like, I 100% doubt it, at least. That, and this deep into the episode, like, you deserve it. Like, if you're like an hour and a half into a Muscle Mommies episode, like fine. Okay, like, so I'm sort of interested in Guy, like, talking to him, right? And this is like such a like sad way for me to come to this realization, though. But like, get this. So he tells me, he expresses his gratitude to me and how happy he is for our relationship, like. And because he says these things, like, they're so sweet, so beautiful, right? Like, he said like something along the lines like, I can't remember, but like, this was like not in one conversation, okay, but like there was one line similar to like things he had said to me before that just triggered me in my mind. But it was basically like he's expressing gratitude for the fact that like he can open up to me about things. He could be so vulnerable with me, and he wants to share all these things with me. And he's like, I've never experienced that before, like, genuinely. He's like, even in my past relationships, and with you, like, I don't know what it is, but like with the environment like that's been created, like, I just want to tell you things, like, I can be completely open with you, like, it's such a cool and like loving, like, basically experience. And like, of course, that's like so sweet to hear, but he said that and I was like, I don't feel that, I can't say that back. So I'm like, that's not good. Like, but it's not like he did anything wrong, but he said that, right? And then I was,
maybe it takes you a while to trust. Maybe one second. Maybe for him, I don't know. I feel like you're very like warm energy. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe he hasn't shown that side of him.
Okay,
maybe it takes a while. You know, sometimes two people can't unice themselves at the same time. You know.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because
why did he get turned off? Because you're like, why is he so vulnerable with me?
No, I love that. I love that. And he doesn't like, he's, you know what, I think there's like, I don't even want to say there's too much, but like there's no too much for that, at least. I think he's like, everything he shares is so cool. Like, I genuinely love hearing it. Like, I get so excited to hear all these things. And when, like, he said that to me a few times in like different ways, and it's always been so nice to hear. But one time I can't remember the specific line that he said, but he said it and I was like, damn, to think that I make him feel those things and I can't even say likewise. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't even say that. And then I was like, and then I thought to myself, like, no, that's how I want to be loved. Yeah. I want to be loved in the ways that he's saying. Like, I want to be loved in a space where I want to come and tell you everything and be so open with you about my successes, my failures, the way I'm feeling, the way I'm not feeling. Mm-hmm. And so then my mind thought, why have I made him feel that way and he hasn't made me feel that way? Mm-hmm. And my mind goes, oh, he's not loving you properly. And I was like, that's true.
No.
And I just accepted that. I was like, okay, yeah, like, I'm just not being loved the way that I want to be loved. Because if I was, I would feel the things that he's saying as well. You get like that I'm just showing you how quick it was for my mind to be like, the love's not like
I think
good.
I think you need to give people more time.
Yeah. That's hard.
No, honestly.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like, because that's what I did. It took me a while. I had to give a lot of time to someone to be in my life, you know? So I think it's just like you have to give them time. And then if that feeling doesn't come out in a couple months, I would say like 4 months, then it's like time to cut ties.
Yeah. I guess it's such a like...
And again, it matters like how often do you guys talk? How close are you guys? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't talk to him a lot, do you?
No, I don't talk to much people a lot, but like I feel like more frequently than others in my life, right? Yeah. Like I more frequently than most in my life, but I'm also just not a frequent.
I see.
Like, you know what? That's like this is a good conversation because that's another thing with me. Okay, like for example, like with him, basically for just in summary, like I don't like the fact that I can't be vulnerable with him, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe you're scared.
That's what I'm about to say.
Like you created your piece so tightly.
That's literally what I'm
you're
getting.
Afraid.
Yes.
That is good, but there's a limit to everything.
Yes.
You got to like.
I don't have my limit. I'll be honest.
And the thing is, like, maybe like baby steps. Maybe like when a topic arises and it's something vulnerable, maybe just put a little something out there. You know what I mean?
But you know what my mind thinks? Like, this is turning into a therapy session. This is funny, but this is what my mind thinks. I feel like this is good because this is like also a little bit probably relatable. Yeah. My mind thinks like they should ask the right questions.
How can they know?
I'm not like nothing questions? Specific, right? But it'd be so random to just be like, "What's your like not a random question, right?" But I feel like he knows me enough, right? So this is what I mean by like I feel unloved. But it's like maybe I'm expecting too much because since I do these practices and I've done it for so long and I feel like I'm so observant and I'm so reflective, like I give people things that come I feel like naturally to me now over the course of like developing these habits and like observations and reflections, that it's like it's not that I expect it, but it's like when it hit me, I was like, wow, I get none of that. Like, I feel like he should ask the right questions. Like, he knows semi. Like, I've been totally open about, like, yeah, like, my number one flaw is vulnerability. Like, I don't really openly talk to people about, like, lots of things. It's like, the right questions should come forward. Not just randomly, like, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? That's, like, a weird thing to ask. But I feel like when you know, at least this is what I would do. This is what I mean by like when you get to know yourself so well that it's like, okay, if I could do it to others, they could do it to me. But it's like there's an extreme to it. I think I'm a little bit extreme, but it's like if I knew you were had trouble with vulnerability, which I knew he did, and now he's open with me, right? I pried in the right ways, didn't push boundaries, but it's like when I could tell, like I just being aware of the way that he felt and being extra attentive. Like it's hard to explain, but it's like I managed to make someone who was not vulnerable without making him uncomfortable.
What if?
But I don't feel that reciprocation, and I didn't realize till recently when he said all those things. I was like
I don't feel the same way.
Yeah, and I should, right?
No. You know what? What if he's afraid of pushing your boundaries? He knows you have boundaries. Okay. He knows that you like your place safe.
You're making me laugh because I can't stand good logic. Like, it makes me laugh. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm like this. I went to therapy before and I would like laugh sometimes when she would say something like super real. Like, I would just laugh. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You want to hurt my feelings if you laugh?
No, it's like so good. It makes me laugh because I feel stupid.
Stop.
Like, it's okay. Like, random, like, sidetrack. There was this tweet that was like, my therapist once said to me, and I had my friend say something very similar to me, but it's like when she was talking about how she was super anxious about something that, like, her therapist was like, nobody cares. Like, when you're like, oh my God, everyone, she's like, dude, like, nobody cares. And she was like, so real. Like, and it makes you laugh.
Yeah, because like, that is so true.
That nobody in the room is looking at me, but that's like what you're saying something like obvious, but it's like it never clicked for me a little bit.
I think, honestly, it's just he's afraid of, like, because if you think about it, if someone is interested in you, they, especially in the early stages, they do not want to offend you. They do not want to turn you off. So I think he is well aware that you like your peace. And I think he's afraid of pushing
someone who doesn't want to be vulnerable into being like vulnerable.
Yeah. Because you're not a vulnerable person. You said that, you know? You like a tight space, and he doesn't want to invade that. And I think he genuinely just didn't want to invade your space.
Yeah.
Especially this early on. Cut him some slack, please.
I can't. I'm just kidding. Like, that's the issue. I think I have to open the door, but there's like a metal bolt.
Yeah.
I put the furniture against the doorknob. He's knocking on it.
And I think honestly,
I burned the house down.
I think you allowed him to be vulnerable, but it was his decision to be vulnerable with you.
And I can't make that decision.
I feel like he, again, decided to be vulnerable with you so you could be vulnerable back with
but
him.
I did the right things to make the space feel comfortable for that.
Yeah, but
that space has not been created for me.
But then he tried to create that space by being vulnerable.
You think that was it?
Yeah.
Like he was giving
like,
to receive.
Yeah.
He was like, mirror me.
Yeah. He's like, I created this.
I don't think he's that smart.
Maybe you don't know.
He's smart. He's very intelligent. But like, I don't think like he was like, okay, if I'm vulnerable, she'll be vulnerable.
You don't know. Maybe that I would be like that. I'd be like, I'm gonna share something.
Yeah, but you're self-aware. I mean, he is too. But like, you're me.
We are the same.
Yeah, like you're me.
I think honestly, he was just afraid of pushing boundaries with you.
Okay, that's fair. That could be the case.
Yeah.
It's sure, like it's that's why I say like don't fall too deep into it.
Yeah.
Like of course, like go deep, like dive. Like I don't mean that like don't be scared because it's not like the end of the world. But it's more of like I do think hyper independence can form from like extreme isolation. So like just always like keep people around, keep your doors open. Don't always fully shut off from everyone and everything around you for like an extended period of time just to get to know yourself. In order to get to know yourself, the best way to do it is in isolation and in company. You need both of those things. So when you do too much of the other, like too much company, no isolation, bad. Too much isolation, no company, bad. You just do like, dude, life is about balance.
Yeah.
Like literally. I'm going to title this podcast Balance.
Balance. Honestly.
Yeah.
It is because our New Year's resolution was balance too.
Yeah, like how you like integrate it slowly. Yeah. Like everything in life, like to the core of it is super simple. People be like, how much should I eat? Not too much, not too little.
Yeah.
Like
too much everything is bad.
Exactly. Can I eat junk food? Hell yeah, you can. Not too much, not too little.
Yeah.
Like not too little so you don't crave it and you're completely like restricting yourself from it. Yeah. Not too much because it's like you don't need that much.
Yeah.
Like everything is about balance.
Literally. Preach.
Amen.
Wayman.
Ooh, way. No way.
Yes, way.
Jose. I can't. Oh, okay.
Okay, muscle mommies, this is the end of our episode. Just remember, everything about life is about balance, and start 2023 creating little tiny habits that you can maintain, and your habits will become your identity. And
yes,
don't forget self-love, baby. Self-love.
2023 is about us.
Yes.
Like you. 2023 is about what you love, what you hate.
Be selfish.
Be super selfish in 2023.
Yes.
We love you guys and thank you for listening. Do not forget, this is up on YouTube and on Spotify. If you're listening on one and you would like the video, go to YouTube. You can subscribe, like, comment, and on Spotify you can leave us a review. Share it on your Instagram stories if you like this episode. We love all the feedback we get and it goes a long, long, long way.
Yes. Much love for you guys.
Bye.
Bye.